All right. Recording the screen as we speak. So
Ooh.
this is the first of many, but it is a test run. Make sure we got all our settings right. And obviously we're going to get better. I'm thinking I'm going to set up probably an external camera. Get some headphones, get the mic set up. But that is all to come shortly. So here we are, feast and famine.
Feast or
Feast
famine?
and or feast or? Feast or.
Feast or.
Feast or.
It's
Okay.
here or there,
Here or there. Perfect.
left or right.
All right. So why don't you break down what the main goal of this podcast is all about?
The main goal of this podcast is to just talk and shoot the shit, but like kind of get everyone's opinion on, do they go left or right? Is it here or there? And that's kind of the theme of the feast or famine. It's like, do you like your burgers with cheese or do you like them no cheese? Do you like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of theme. Like,
Right.
but centered around sports and food and whatever. Like,
Okay.
I just want to get on here and just talk and
Build
express
this
myself.
community. Yeah. No, I hear you. Express yourself.
Express yourself.
Yeah. I feel like we're trying to jump on the podcast wave, like everybody and their grandmother has a podcast. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
a lot of them are kind of bullshit, to be honest. But
Yeah, because you know why? You know why they're bullshit.
why?
It's because all this podcasting grew during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's had nothing to do. So what they do? Let's get on camera and bullshit
Basically.
and talk about whatever.
Well, what's crazy is like the biggest people now are as everyone that like started doing it back then, like 2020. I mean, of course, you got like the big people that were doing it before COVID, like Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
you know, those guys. But it really got popular because of the pandemic.
Yeah, and listen, it's 2023. They've been doing it for a little bit, so they've ironed out the kinks,
Mm-hmm.
figured out what works, what doesn't work. You know how to segment your conversations.
Right.
And I guarantee if you rewind and go look at one of their first episodes or listen to one of their first episodes, there's a lot of bullshit.
For
They
sure.
had to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. It's weird though because now I think we're getting to a space where like not only do regular people want to make podcasts, but you got celebrities and like athletes, you know, rappers trying to make podcasts, which is, you know, I like the fact that it opens it up, like everybody can do their thing, and you know, like you said, have a voice, build a community. But it's like, yeah, y'all are definitely like jumping on this bandwagon to get a check.
Yeah, I think it's just another. We talked about this before. It's like another stream of income.
Mm-hmm.
It's another way for them to market themselves and make money off of it.
Yeah.
Who's the person I was watching the other day? I was watching or listening. Well, I was watching actually because he was on YouTube too. Michael Parsons.
Do you
It's
like
just
his
him
pod
sitting in front
though?
of
Cause look,
Yeah.
I'll be real. He like the only reason I knew he had a podcast is because it was a couple weeks ago when the Jets played Dallas, and my friend was like, "Yo, watch out for number 11." And I'm like, "Number 11 who? Like who the hell is this?" And then he sent me his podcast, and I'm like, "Okay, he's a football player. Like send me like highlights of him like sacking a quarterback or something. Like why are you sending me his podcast?" And he's like, "Nah, his podcast is lit." I'm like, and then he sent me like all his stats from last season. He was like, you know, almost defensive player, first team, all NFL. Like, okay, cool.
he's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. But I'm like, that don't mean that he has a good podcast. That means he's a really good football player.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. Like, just because you're a good football player doesn't mean you're gonna be good on camera
Exactly.
and talking and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Kind of with Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp at first he wasn't that good, but now he's starting to get it. Now he has his own show. Like,
But you could tell like Shannon would be good, just like off of his first like few times like segment wise. He doesn't. He kind of does what like the mainstream like commentators do. Like they're very like extra with their takes and stuff.
animated.
Animated. There you go. But he
But he
actually
was like that
has,
as a football player too, though.
yeah. So it's easy to translate over into media. I do like his interview skills when he does like Club Shay Shay.
Club shit. That's another podcast I want to binge
Mm-hmm.
and just like watch them. I'm starting to catch up. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're starting fresh here, and I'm trying to like dabble into different things to like pick and choose some of the things I like.
It's weird. I didn't think I would um, like sport athletes podcasts, but then I started looking at all the ones that I've watched recently. It's all athletes podcasts. Um, Shannon Sharps, Gilbert Arenas, Iman Shumpert has one that's like really good. Who are the three football players? There's a couple of them where there's like three football players. Pivot.
It's I forget what the third dude's name is. It's Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor. Always forget his name, and I love their content.
Mm.
'Cause I was listening to an old episode. They had Kevin Hart on there.
Yeah. There's another one though.
Channing Crowder.
Channing
What's his
Crowder.
name?
There's another one. It's Brandon Marshall, Deshaun Jackson, Shady McCoy. No, it's not. It's not Deshaun Jackson. It's Shady McCoy and somebody else. Pac-Man Jones.
Never seen it.
Let me see.
I don't know.
I'm about to do some quick Googles.
Used it. Listen, we're gonna do that a lot on here. And what I've noticed is like, well, right now I'm listening to Bad Friends, which I love by the way.
Bad Friends.
Love their fucking content. Yeah, their content is so fucking hilarious.
It's called I Am Athlete.
I Am Athlete. Yeah, they're like, all right, let me Google it real quick. Google machine.
Google machine.
So I like to call it the Google machine. Let's use the Google machine here. Wait, who are on there? So it's Brandon Marshall, Chad Johnson. No, that's
Chad Johnson's not on it anymore, but when they first were doing episodes, he was.
Oh wow! It says that the original hosts were Brandon Marshall, Chad Johnson, Fred Taylor, and Channing Crowder.
Okay.
Did Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder leave and do their own thing?
I think so.
They should.
So then he replaced all three of them, and now it's him, Pac-Man Jones, and Shady McCoy.
Isn't there like a female host on there? I think there's a female host.
What's her name? She used to be on KFTV. Ashley Nicole Moss, I think is her name.
Yeah, Ashley Nicole Moss.
I liked her Knicks takes. She's a big Knicks fan.
Yes, she's a New Yorker. She got Cowboys jersey on. Get up out of here.
That's, I mean,
Come on, man. America's team.
fuck out of here, Cowboys, America's team.
How
To
you feel
who?
about that? Like,
To
how
who?
you feel? To a lot of people.
I don't want to hear that. Yeah, maybe in the 90s when they were winning Super Bowls.
Yeah, they haven't won anything since we were little kids, but
Mhm.
I think why they became America's team is obviously they were winning and things like that, but like people forget that Texas is like the biggest for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Like if we were in a test to see like, all right, who's your favorite fan? Like who's your favorite team? There's gonna be a lot of people from Texas that are gonna be like, oh, I love the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, Texas.
Versus someone from like St. Louis person per capita. There's less people that are going to be like, oh yeah, I like the St. Louis Rams. So then you look at the numbers, it's just outrageous. Like there's more people that are going to like the Dallas Cowboys than St. Louis Rams.
Isn't like St. Louis close to Kansas City? So you might actually get
St.
like,
Louis, Missouri.
yeah, you might get like more Kansas City fans than Rams fans.
Wait, am I allowed to say that? My bad.
I don't know. I've been cursing on here like since we started, so it don't matter. It don't matter. But yeah, we aren't like. That's a funny point that Lamont's dad brought up on Sunday. He was like, "Yo, y'all both from New York, but y'all both have different football teams."
All right. Well, you got to tell the context of.
So,
where were we?
so the context of the story. All right. So it's Sunday. Our friend Lamont, who also has his football affiliation, does a tailgate in Philadelphia. I live in Philadelphia. For everybody that doesn't know, my brother lives in New Jersey. We're not that far from each other, but everybody we know in this area is like majority of them are Eagles fans. So
Eagles fans.
yeah. So our friend Lamont invites us to Eagles tailgate, and we're out there, and of course, it's majority of Eagles fans. Me and my bro come out there. He's a fan of the Raiders, repping all black. I'm a fan of the Jets. Sad that we lost Sunday night, but whatever. I'll have my Jets gear on. I have a Jets hat on. So we get out there, and it's basically like, Eagles fans talking shit like, oh, how you come out here repping your team's colors, and it's an Eagles tailgate. All right, see, that's OD. You got the COVID mask.
Got the Raiders COVID mask, dude.
The Raiders
Don't mess around.
COVID mask.
Listen, you never know what could happen in the nation.
Right.
But yes, I was rocking my Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care where I am. I'll go to any city and rock it.
So, a couple of the people that were out there, one was Lamont's dad, Lamont Senior, right?
Lamont Senior, yeah.
Lamont
Huge
Senior.
Eagles fan. And then I think he told us
fan.
about he tried out for the Eagles. Did he try out for the Eagles?
Oh yeah. He's OG. Like he came out of like middle of nowhere university, got a tryout with the Eagles back in the '80s. I think the Randall Cunningham days.
Yeah.
The Reggie White days back then. Yeah.
Dick Vermeil.
To Dick Vermeil, invincible. So he was asking us. He was like, "So y'all both supposed to be from New York. You a Raiders fan, you a Jets fan. How's that even happen?" See, I have an easy explanation because we moved to New York. We're from there, born and raised. Majority of my teams are New York teams. Jets, Knicks. I don't really fuck with baseball like that, but hockey would probably be like the Rangers, whatever.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand,
a little
different. Football team, Raiders.
Well, so New York, diehard Yankees fan till I die.
Right.
To the end of time. Like that's going to be on the casket when I get buried, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a big hockey fan, but yeah, if the Rangers are in it, we're going to rep New York because we're born and raised there. Basketball, growing up, as you know, I was a huge Michael Jordan fan. Like, I didn't really like teams. I just liked a player.
Right.
And then just over time, it's just always been like that. Like, I've never really repped a team. Like, yeah, I like the Nets because Vince Carter was there because he was one of my favorite players.
I thought that's how you actually got to it, is because at first when you started, I think at the time that you really started getting into basketball, Vince Carter was on the Raptors, and then he got traded from the Raptors to the Nets, and then you were like, all right, I'm a Nets fan. And then
I liked the Nets because Jason Kidd was on there, but I really liked Vince Carter.
Mm-hmm.
But But yeah, basketball, I don't really have a team. Like again, nowadays, yeah, I'll rep whatever New York. I'm digging the Knicks right now.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Nets are
Now you
the
digging the
Nets.
Knicks.
The, the
Now you
Nets are
digging the
hot
Knicks.
garbage. But listen, back in the day, when so we don't get too far off topic, but back in the day, yes, I did love Jordan, but I also loved John Starks and Allen Houston. I just didn't like the Knicks because it's Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? So that's just how it was.
Right,
But
right.
like basketball,
Everybody,
yeah, I
everybody
didn't really have a
liked
team.
Jordan. It was
Yeah,
like,
I didn't really have a team.
yeah, everybody was
But then,
was watching Jordan, rocking Jordans. Like, yeah, it was a
yeah,
thing.
yeah, that was the thing.
Mhm.
But that football, back then we didn't. Growing up in New York, we played basketball, and that's what we followed. Like basketball was life,
Right.
right? But I always like gravitated to like the silver and black. Like I really liked Bo Jackson. I liked Marcus Allen, Jerry Rice. I loved Jerry Rice. He was on the Niners back then when we were growing up. But then over time, he ended up being on the Raiders. So it's like everything just pointed in that direction. Randy Moss, one of my favorite players of all time, he ended up being on the Raiders. My favorite player of all time, Charles Woodson, he got drafted by the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I just gravitated to it. I didn't like anybody on the Giants. I didn't like the Jets. Like there was nothing that like pulled me to it. So that's how I became a Raiders fan. But that's the only team that I'll rep outside of like New York. Like nothing outside of New York.
Nice.
I'm not repping anyone. Like to the point of the story you're talking about, Lamont, his dad, his son is our friend. He's supposedly a Titans fan, but he was repping an Eagles jersey at the tailgate.
Yo, I don't care.
That's something we could talk about. We could talk about that. Like I don't
Listen.
understand. Like me, I'm not wearing another team's jersey.
Bro,
I'm not doing
listen.
that. I don't care.
I've been a Jets fan since the 90s, dog. Like, you don't know how much shit I've heard people talk about my team and just like fucking Patriots all the time, beating our asses. The Bills now and the Dolphins are now like better than the Jets. Like we're always getting shitted on by all the teams. But my loyalty is always to that green. So like I don't care where I'm at. Like I'm not gonna rock another team's jersey. Like that just doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean?
Can't do it.
So like the fact that he was out there in an Eagles jersey when he clearly reps the Titans, like you ask him anything, he's like, "Oh yeah, Steve McNair was his favorite player." Like, then why are you rocking the Eagles? Why are you rocking the Eagles jersey?
If I had to give him an excuse, I'd give him two excuses. It was an AJ Brown jersey, so AJ Brown was on the Titans.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. And then two, his dad is a diehard Eagles fan, so his excuse could be like, I was wearing it because we're here at the Eagles ticket.
Listen,
fuck all that shit.
I'm
not wearing another team's jersey.
We are old school. We come from a time where like, yo, you rep your team, loyalty to your team. You pick a team, cool. Yeah. There's only a few like reasons like you can switch teams, in my opinion. Like,
what's one of those reasons?
All right, so one of the reasons is like if you don't have a team in that sport already. So like let's say for example you lived in New York but you didn't like you don't watch hockey.
Rep any team.
Yeah. And
then, I don't
watch
hockey.
Yeah. And then let's say you move to Tampa and the Lightning are like the hockey team in Tampa. Then I would say, all right, if you start repping like a Tampa Lightning jersey, then cool. You move there, you live there. Because you don't have a team in that sport.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go the whole other direction. I can't do it. Still couldn't do it. That couldn't be a reason.
How could you still not do it?
I would rep. Here you go. The only reason I would rep another team is, now I have kids. I got a girl and a boy. When they get older and they go play sports, if they end up playing somewhere at a high level, like let's just say they make it to college or they make it to the NBA, NFL, whatever, then I would say that should be the only reason you would ever rep another team. Like if my son made it to the NFL and he played on the New York Jets, I'm repping the New York Jets for him.
Okay, yeah, your jersey's going to be
but I'm still a Raiders fan.
Okay, that's fine. But would you wear your kid's jersey?
I'd wear his jersey only, like his specific jersey.
Okay.
Like no other jersey.
And then let's say he
touching
gets
the skin.
let's say he gets traded to the Rams.
I'm getting his jersey as the Rams.
Okay.
On the Rams.
Okay.
I'm not
All
wearing
right.
anyone
All right.
else.
That's fair. But wait, you'll go. That makes sense. But you're telling me if you don't even have a team in that particular sport and you move somewhere, you can't rep the team from that place that you moved to?
I would need more context. So why don't you have a team? So we're not gonna talk about me. Let's just talk about a random person.
Okay.
Let's just say they don't like
random
hockey.
Random person. I don't want to keep using hockey because I don't want to shit on hockey. But
okay, let's baseball. Let's go baseball.
Baseball. Okay. Let's say you grew up in, I don't know, L.A. Okay.
L.A.
The Dodgers are the kings of L.A.
Yeah, they're the team. They're the L.A. Dodgers.
They're the team. They're the Dodgers.
That's a bad. You picked a bad city, but it's an example.
It's an example. Well, I'm trying to make it like an extreme example.
I got you.
All right. So you live in L.A. Everyone's a fan of the Dodgers.
What's my name? What's my name?
I don't know. Francisco. Francisco Jenkins. From Compton.
Okay,
Francisco Jenkins from Compton. You're half Mexican, half black.
Okay. Whoa. We didn't even get started, and you about to get us canceled.
African
American and Mexican.
Look,
okay?
African American and Mexican. All right, cool. So Francisco,
Francisco, yes.
I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe you were more interested in like some street business. You weren't necessarily watching baseball.
Oh. I'm stereotypical. So I'm African American and Mexican. I'm in the drug business.
Listen, he's definitely flagging. I don't know if he's blood or Crip, but Francisco is definitely rocking a flag.
All right, it's definitely Crip. It's in the West Coast.
Okay, Crippin'. All the Bloods are gonna come for us now because talking about Crips. Anyway.
No red over here. No
Francisco was just not a fan of baseball. Let's say whatever. He, got on his Nipsey hustle grind and like started buying properties. Ends up moving to Dallas. Okay. Goes to Dallas. His group of people or whatever that he's doing business with. They're big Astro fans. Or I don't even know. Where do the Astros play?
Yeah, Houston Astros. Yep.
Houston,
Texas. Gotcha.
Houston.
Yep.
All right. Better yet, he moves to Houston. Okay. He gets invited to a game. They're in the Houston Astros stadium. Whoop-de-whoop. He loves it. Is like, yo, this was a good ass time. Decides he wants to become an Astros fan. Like rocks a jersey, whatever. He's from LA. But he moved to Houston. Wasn't a fan of baseball before he moved. Became a fan of baseball after he moved. Is it a valid enough reason to say, all right, I'm repping this team over my hometown team? This shouldn't be that hard.
It's such a gray area.
How is it a gray area?
Yeah, because the Astros are good. And what if, now all of a sudden you like baseball and you like the Houston Astros because you live there?
But the Dodgers are good. What are you talking about? Or they've been good, like historically good.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm on the fence with that one. We might have to like.
All right, we'll have to add that to the ideas because we're gonna have to come back to that question.
Do a poll.
Do a poll.
Ask our fans.
Ask the fans. That's the other thing. Like we gotta build this server out. For everyone that is not aware, we have the Feast or Famine Discord. We'll have members come on, and eventually we'll have a conversation with you guys, poll the question, and then get people's responses. So, but that's coming down the pipeline. So, Add that to the list. What is a valid reason for someone who's an adult? That's the other thing, the caveat. I think we should limit it to adults because kids can change their teams as much as they want.
I'm dealing with that as we speak.
Exactly.
And my son's only 3.
Exactly. So at what point, that's the question, at what point is it a valid reason for you as an adult to change a team?
That's what I'm saying. Now there's questions you go all the way back as a kid, like what did he like as a kid?
Listen, I have an even better example of if this is a valid reason to wear something from another team. So you met my friend Brandon before, right?
Yep.
All right. Going to football. Brandon is a huge New York Giants fan. You know, that's
The G-Man.
G-Man all day. Okay? Eli Manning was his favorite player. You know, he's got Saquon's jersey. He's got Strahan. He's got all the jerseys. Strahan, OBJ, all of that. So he moved to Florida.
Nah,
Right.
don't do it.
No. It gets even. It's not even. I'm not even
Oh,
going.
I'm walking out.
I'm not even
hanging
going
up.
to where you think I'm going. Okay. So he moves to Florida.
Okay.
Last year, as you know, the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, right?
Come on, man.
No. Listen. Eagles were in the Super Bowl. My man's petty was so high. He was like, "Yo, I am such a Giants fan. You know, I will never, even though he's from the air, from like where we're from, I will never rep for the Eagles." So you know what my man did?
He did not have a Kelsey or
No.
Mahomes jersey on.
On the day of the Super Bowl, my man's had a Kansas City red shirt with Mahomes' number on the back. He said, I dislike the Eagles so much, I'm gonna root for the other team.
All right. I can.
See,
All right, I'm gonna confess.
petty.
I'm gonna
That's another
confess it.
reason.
All
That's
right, here's
another
petty.
reason.
We're gonna confess something here. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl and beat the Patriots, we were together. Me and you. We were celebrating. We were actually watching the Super Bowl in Philly, out in Philly, at a bar. I was cheering for the Patriots to lose to the Eagles.
Oh, for sure. Fuck the Patriots.
Backstory. Obviously, we know I hate the Patriots because Tuck rule that doesn't exist anymore has screwed over the Raiders.
Listen,
Yes.
The Tuck rule, the deflate gate, the stealing plays, whatever. Belichick's cheating ass, Tom Brady, all of them. Fuck the Patriots with a passion. I will say that on this call. You know, I want all the negative things in life to happen to them, basically.
But we want all the Patriots fans to follow our podcast because we would love to have a debate with you.
Oh, for sure.
On how
For sure.
much of cheaters the Patriots are.
Y'all cheating asses. Yeah, come on and debate, for sure. We'll talk about how y'all suck. You win, but you suck as people. But anyhow, so that is going to go on the poll question. Is petty a good reason to rock another team's jersey?
Well, we had multiple things here. We had petty. We had repping your like a child.
Mm-hmm.
Like if your kids make it big.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna rep their team,
Right.
even if it's not your team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but honestly, if you go far on that, real quick on that one, if you go back far enough, you know, we say that we're loyal, but if you go even farther back, like loyalty, like there's people that probably would say, no, I'm not rep. Even if my son made it to another team, I'm not repping that team's jersey.
That also falls in another type of petty though, because like be like, oh yeah, you good, like good on you. Still ain't rocking your jersey. Nope, can't do it.
Nope.
Can't do it.
Nope. So petty, as in like you hate the other team so bad you're rooting against them, so you're gonna like that team.
Yep.
Your family member ends up playing for that team.
Yep.
you're not a fan.
You're not a fan.
You're not
and
a fan
move.
of it. That sport. You're not a fan of that sport, and then all
move.
of a sudden you move somewhere, and then you become a fan of that team.
Yeah, those are the three. What about family affiliation? Like, let's say you are a fan of one team, and then you marry somebody, and they're a fan of another team.
Nah.
No, not a good reason. Not a good
No.
reason. Okay.
Remember the commercial? I think it was last year or 2 years ago. I forget what it was, but it was a Raiders. It was an NFL commercial for either Christmas time. It was Raiders and Chiefs, and the Raiders fan was sitting at the table, and the entire family were Chiefs fans.
And he was just there, like,
repping that silver and black with the lights on it.
yep.
And they were all mad.
They were all salty.
They could be mad.
Salty. Get those faces.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a poll on that one.
Okay.
Get people's opinion. Easton, you family? What's up? Which one you with?
Feast or famine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be the poll, feast or famine poll questions.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. I'm gonna add that to the channel. Let's see. I don't know what else. I mean, what other topics do we have?
Yeah. What's up? How you feel? I gotta check, make sure you're okay. You know, not on suicide watch or anything after your team got.
Man, listen, it's been like non-stop comments from people about the Jets this season. Honestly, it started like as soon as we got Aaron Rodgers. Like, I found out pretty early on, a lot of people don't like Aaron Rodgers. They don't like the way they don't like his attitude. They don't like his cockiness. They don't like a whole bunch of stuff. Apparently, they don't like the fact that, like, he talks a lot of shit. Apparently, there was like a COVID thing that, like, people don't like him about.
Well, he lied. They said he tested. They said I forget what it was. They asked if he got tested, and he didn't say he wasn't positive. He said something like, I forget the wording. It was like he's immune or something. Like, he has his immunization, but you can't. No, you got your shot or you don't got your shot.
Basically.
And then it ended up coming back that he didn't. He even lied, and that's why people don't like him.
Oh, well, whatever. I was just happy that we actually had, a top 10 quarterback in the league. Maybe top 5. No.
Yeah.
Top 5? All right. Yeah, I was happy we got a top 5 quarterback. Personally, I wouldn't have gone after a guy that's, going to be 40 soon, but, my all right, if I put my GM hat on for the Jets, which I actually have a hat for the Jets that I think I'm going to put on. If I put my GM hat on for the Jets, what I would have done is I would have tried to trade to get Lamar Jackson out of Baltimore. Because they were having the contract dispute. He was like, "Yo, I'm ready to leave." I think if the Jets would have slid in there with like a good enough offer, like I think they could have matched the offer that Baltimore gave him to get him to the Jets.
I don't think that was on the table. Like, I don't think that was a.
I mean, it was the rumor mill was swirling at that point. It was like, oh, dude, the Jets make a trade for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, but I don't think he wanted out. Like, Aaron Rodgers obviously openly said that he wanted out.
Right.
Like, I don't think Lamar never mentioned that he wanted out. He just wanted to be paid fairly for the work that he did.
For sure.
Does.
So we get Aaron Rodgers, and then now it's like, all right, it's the same shit as last time we got a Green Bay quarterback. It's like we're like the destination for like retired Green Bay quarterbacks. Is like once they're done with their careers in Green Bay, they want to come to the Jets. But anyhow, it's like, all right, I got behind the trade or, the signing, whatever. But then it was like, expectations go high, and then game one happens. My man didn't even last 4 plays. He lasted exactly 4 plays, actually. Like, and then the look on his face, when he fell to the ground, it was like, damn, I should have rethought this whole coming back to football thing. You know what I mean? Like the whole time he was trying to get out of Green Bay, he was debating if he was going to retire. Like once you debate about not coming back, you stay your ass home. That's just my opinion. Because then you're not going to be in it all the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the problem that we're seeing now is like our expectations shot through the roof because the team got better. We got a quarterback.
Defense was always good.
Second year for Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall coming back. Delvin Cook in the backfield. Like, we got something. You know what I mean? And then for this guy to go down, now it's like, all right, is there any way to salvage the season, basically? Because we're back to fucking Zach Wilson, who I will say balled out Sunday night.
Did ball out.
He balled out, but it was because of what I've been saying. Don't play him like he's Aaron Rodgers. Play him like he's Zach Wilson. Take all of the plays that you were going to do for Aaron Rodgers and scale that shit back.
Mm-hmm.
Do what the kid does well. He gets out the pocket, 1-2 reads, gets the ball out. Like, don't have him do the whole entire offense because he doesn't know the whole entire offense. And then run the ball. If you do that and let the defense do what they do, I was hoping for 10-7 this season. People are laughing at me and saying I'm delusional, but I legitimately thought we would be in that wild card spot or at least contending for like our division. So it still remains to be seen. But as far as that game goes, it was like us against the Chiefs, against like the media, against the refs. Like, if it wasn't Chris Collinsworth like talking about Patrick Mahomes every 5 minutes, or talking about Travis Kelce, or talking about Taylor Swift, or talking about how prolific the Chiefs offense is, it was like, bro, what am I watching? And then
I hope y'all went all in on it. Like, he basically went all in on this quarterback that, he's top tier quarterback in the NFL.
And he popped his
leg.
That's
what y'all literally were missing. That's what y'all were missing last season.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to get hurt on the first play, like, that was...
Yeah. So right now, my hopes as a Jets fan is like, I need Zach to get it. I need him to get it.
Well, and speaking of Zach, are you all in on Zach?
I got no choice. Did
you watch the video? Did you see your boy get roasted?
Yeah.
By Rodney Harrison?
Yeah.
Here,
yeah, there's that. If it wasn't him, I saw what's his name? Colin Hurd.
Here.
Who's Colin on the Herd?
Everyone knows it. Colin Cowherd.
Colin Cowherd, yeah.
Talking about here.
He was roasting Zach Wilson too.
Well, right here, Rodney Harrison calling Zach Wilson garbage on live television, and then trying to get Chris Jones to agree with him.
All right, we got clips. Play the clip.
I am playing the clip. Not working.
Nah, play the clip.
I'm playing the clip.
I'm looking. It's not playing. Oh, here we go.
How about now? Okay. Can you hear it?
Yeah, turn the volume up.
Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, we knew it was going to be a battle. He's continued to get better week in and week out, and he's continued to lead week in and week out.
But watching that tape, man, you got to look at this dude and say, "Oh, he is garbage." Like, we should really tear him apart.
Oh man, here we go.
Came on, played extremely well against you guys.
Yeah, he played really well. Zach, a first round
Second
quarterback.
pick overall. Yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah.
And that kid is special. I said Zach Wilson is special, man. You just got to give the guy
Okay,
credit.
okay, Chris.
Wait. Did
I'm
you
like
say
I'm
Zach
liking that.
Wilson is special?
Yeah.
I think he had a special night, but I don't think he's special.
All right. Listen.
Right, yeah.
First of all,
Let Rodney finish
I'm
here.
saying, Chris.
Hey, listen.
I'm just saying.
I'm a Zach Wilson.
first of all, can I tell you, Rodney Harrison, first and foremost, is a Patriot. So of course he's gonna talk shit about a Jets player. All right, that's first and foremost. Secondly, Rodney Harrison hasn't done anything significant since like winning a Super Bowl in like 2005, okay, or wherever the last time they won. He's barely a decent commentator, okay. But that's what I'm talking about. Everybody has hate for the Jets this season because of all the Aaron Rodgers shit, stacked on top of the fact that we have Patriots in the media making comments. But if you go to see if you could find the clip of Rex Ryan talking about Zach Wilson, because that's actually if we're gonna go with the hate, we gotta go with some love too.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You
That's
wanna hear the love.
feast or famine. So can we get
Gotcha.
a little bit of love?
All right, Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
Let me use my Google machine.
Use the Googlings, the Googlins.
What show was this on that he was
It was
talking?
on First Take, or not First Take. Get Up.
Get Up.
Yeah, the one with Greeny.
Let's see. I think I got it. Let me cue it off. Okay, let's just see. Visual, we can see it. You good?
Yeah.
All right.
And there were a lot of
Sound
star
check,
power
we're good?
in the suites. Aaron
We're good.
Rodgers was there. You may have heard Taylor Swift was
Yeah,
there.
okay, we
And
get
you know
it. Taylor
who's
Swift,
ready to
great.
play in his
Let's see.
native New Jersey, Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, really good job. 3rd and 1, the most.
That was
from
the
the
bigger
backside
problem.
guard.
He was
When
running the
Pacheco
shit
gets
out the
going
ball.
downhill, the violence that he runs with, huge early
If they
touchdown
would have
for
did
the
that
Chiefs
the whole
offense.
game,
Jersey.
Taylor
we
loves
probably
it.
would have got
Pacheco,
blown
20
out.
carries, 115 yards,
Jersey
and then
boy.
Patrick Mahomes and RC. Noah Gray is wide
Yeah,
open.
right here.
This is a
Cut to here. Like highlights were great, but
Yeah, I
One
don't,
sitting up here screaming and yelling, and I
see
don't
it,
take
huh?
any of it back. I was talking
want
about
you to
what I was
relive
seeing
that.
at the time. But fair
Relive
is
those
fair.
moments.
The kid was terrific last night. He gave them a chance to win. The mistake is the mistake. He played the best game of his life with his career on the line. He gave his team a chance, and he gives them hope going forward. So Zach Wilson, I can do nothing but praise the performance, the effort, the guts. I think Rodgers being there definitely seemed to help him. He showed
Greeny
you
was
last
going
night
in.
why they have not given up on
Greeny's
him.
a Jets fan too, so
all
I
can say
always
is
like-
I thought he
I
was
appreciate-
Homer.
sensational last night.
Yeah, and Greeny, I sat back and I barked back at you and said you were wrong.
You did?
And why? Because this kid has NFL talent.
Yep.
You can't tell me. Nobody can say that this kid doesn't have that NFL arm talent. Nobody can say he doesn't have NFL mobility. We haven't seen NFL production until this point. This is the first time I thought the coaching staff centered the plan around this young man's talents. Okay? He's a guy that struggles reading in the pocket. So what I do, I go with heavier protection when I have him drop back, allow him to stay a little deeper in the pocket to give him more time to read. Daniel, you talked about earlier about one-man reads.
Concepts, yep.
One-man, two-man reads in the concept. Why is that important? Because he does have that kind of skill set to put the ball wherever he wants. Okay? However, when it gets cluttered and you have him read a field, he's not there yet. Okay? This is why I've said be patient. And the further this season goes on, the better this kid's going to get. And I'm telling you, you have to be patient with a guy with NFL skill set like this. He's second overall pick for a reason. That's why I say don't pick up some of these junk guys that are out there that aren't going to
Exactly.
make your team better in the long run.
Exactly.
Invest in what you have right here. And that's why, to me, I'm sitting back going, dang, I told you so.
If
Yeah,
they
you
can
can
get
stop
that
it
Zach
there.
Wilson for the rest of the season, even at 1-3, their season's not dead. For
sure.
And even in
Oh, damn. My bad. Got kicked out. But yeah, I mean, though that's the point is like, simplify the offense for him. put him in positions to be successful, and you've seen what he could do. Like, say what you want. That was a primetime game against the defending Super Bowl champions. And if you ask who the best if you never watched football before and you watched that game and you said who was the best quarterback of the game, you would say it was Zach Wilson.
I wouldn't go that far. But
yeah, I would go that far.
I wouldn't say he was the best quarterback in that game because Mahomes.
Listen, if you never watched football ever in your life, you didn't know who the Chiefs were, you didn't know that they won the Super Bowl, and you just watched that game and you said who was the better quarterback, it would be the one in green, not red.
Statistically, yes. But at the end of the game, what quarterback won their team the game?
Yeah. Mahomes did Mahomes shit and won the game. Yeah.
Zach Wilson fumbled when he had the chance to go tie the game or take the lead. He fumbled it. And
listen,
they never got the ball back.
I fully understand. That was the only mistake that he made that night.
Yep. 100%.
And unfortunately, the Chiefs, the refs, and fucking Taylor Swift, because I'm gonna blame her too. We didn't get the ball back. The Chiefs had the ball for 7 minutes after the fumble, and there was only 8 minutes left in the game. Like,
here's my thing, man. I feel like sometimes, and this is why I brought this up, because I watched that Rodney Harrison bit, and I was just like on live national television, like you're basically saying this one of 32 quarterbacks in the NFL are trash. Like, basically saying you're trash.
Yeah, basically.
Here's my example. Here's my thought on that. Mm-hmm. There's no way he is in the NFL for a reason. Mm-hmm. Right? You think about, I played basketball, but I didn't play at a high level. Right? If I played against somebody that was the last guy on the bench on the Bulls, I'm getting trashed.
Oh, yeah. He's dropping 40 on you easy.
He's dropping buckets.
Without even thinking about it.
He's in the NBA for a reason, or he's in the NFL for a reason. Like, they're playing at a high level. They made that team for a reason. Mm-hmm. I think we're just overly critical of this guy. I think, what have you done for me lately is the thing, right? It's like, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Zach Wilson was trash we're not going to use that word. He wasn't good last season. The only reason y'all were good is your defense was good.
Yeah.
And adding Aaron Rodgers to that to replace what you had last season was supposed to be magical. But now he's not. Now you have no other choice. You got to go with Zach Wilson.
Despite having Zach Wilson, we had Garrett Wilson, who was Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
We had Breece Hall, who, like, if he didn't get injured, he was definitely rushing for like 1,600 yards. Like, he was going off. Okay, so combine that with, like, all right, we add Aaron Rodgers' security blanket in Randall Cobb. We add his former offensive coordinator. Yeah, we brought in all his guys.
Adam Lazard. You brought Lazard. You brought Cobb. You brought the OC was already there. Mm-hmm. Match made in heaven.
Exactly. So it made sense. But now,
100%.
But now, again, like I said, you have to game plan and move forward knowing that you have a Zach Wilson at quarterback and not Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, you got to make the adjustment. But I think and listen, y'all, you don't have it as bad as we do in Las Vegas right now, but like, no one's calling for Saleh to get fired right now. But
oh, nah.
I mean, I think the best decision he's going to make moving forward in this season is sticking with Zach Wilson at this point. Like,
listen, I was a little funny story, real quick. I was watching the game at my girl's mom's crib, and one of their neighbors came over, and she's like a night nurse. She's in her 40s, but she's an Eagles fan. But she was coming to watch the game because obviously everybody supports the Jets now because of me, and I talk about them so much. So they're like, yeah, we're fans of so and so's team, but you know what? We want to see the Jets do well. They got Aaron Rodgers now. Like, yeah, they want us to do well. So We're watching
And
the
then y'all
game.
break up. Y'all break up 3 years from now, and they're like, "Fuck the Jets."
Yeah, they're
I'm
like,
kidding.
"Fuck the
Totally kidding.
Jets."
Totally kidding.
Yeah. They're Eagles fans, so they're fine. They don't care about the Jets. But all she could talk about all game long is like, "Oh my God, Robert Saleh! Like, oh, he looks Middle Eastern, like he's from Egypt." I'm like, "Duh." I'm like, "Yeah. We got a hunk of a coach. Yeah, do the eyeballs. He looks like he could be in The Mummy. You remember the Brandon Fraser movie?" But yeah. Speaking of the Raiders, though, like, what are y'all doing?
We're flipping. We're flipping here.
Yeah.
What are we doing, dude? We've been a bad franchise for the past
I'd say 20 years.
plus years.
Probably, yeah.
The day that we traded John Gruden, and this was the first time it happened.
Nah, y'all were good. Y'all were good when Gruden came back the second time. You were like
we're,
getting
we're talking about overtime. We're talking about overtime.
yeah.
Since then, since we were and you can Google check that, but since we were the first franchise to trade a head coach for picks, it was all downhill from there. So in 2000 and 2001 or 2002, whatever year that was, the year that we lost to the Patriots because of the tuck rule, we lost that game. The next season, we traded John Gruden to the Buccaneers for picks. Then we went back to the Super Bowl and then ended up facing and the Buccaneers, and it was all downhill from there. Like, we've never been good since then. Like, we've been decent. There have been years where there's been spots where it's like, all right, we made the playoffs, and then Derek Carr broke his leg in 2017. Then, John Gruden came back, and we were decent. Like, we were about to be a playoff team, and there was promise. But other than that, it's been hot garbage.
Yeah.
Basura. Trash. And it all started then. It was all downhill from then, and it hasn't been good since. And the problem is,
that's crazy. How do you trade a head coach?
Was that what year was that? Was that right? 2001, 2002?
It was 2002.
2002, yeah. So 2000, yeah. So the year after we were we the first team to do it? We were the first team
y'all
to do it.
were the first team to do it.
Yeah. You trade a head coach for picks. So since then, it's been all downhill. And the problem is there hasn't been any stability since then. Like, the plan was John Gruden was going to win us a couple Super Bowls back then. Like, we had our chance. We had the Jerry Rice, the Tim Brown. We had Rich Gannon. We had the quarterback. We had the defense. Like, I don't care what anybody says. The NFL helped the Patriots win that year. They created a rule.
I mean, it was
called the Tuck rule.
9/11, so.
Just for anyone that doesn't understand what the tuck rule is basically it was a rule in the NFL rule book that stated that when a quarterback went to go pump and then bring the ball back to their body, it's considered a pass if he fumbled it, if he drops it. But if you watch the tape, you can cue it. You watch the tape, he clearly fumbled the ball. But the NFL overturned it because of the tuck rule. And if you fast forward, today is October 3rd in 2023, the rule does not exist anymore.
Oh, yeah.
They got rid of it about 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah. They fixed that rule. It makes
no sense that if a quarterback is going to go throw the ball and then brings it back to their body
and the ball comes
fumbles, out. Not a fumble. No, it is a fumble because he fumbled. It's not a pass. He didn't try to pass it to his waistline.
And just to add a little context, this was in an AFC Championship game that year where the Patriots were playing the Raiders, and if the fumble would have happened, or if it would have been held up as a fumble, Raiders won, game over. But Patriots ended up getting another play, throwing
Kick
it
the
down the
field
field,
goal.
kick the
And
field
granted,
goal.
yes, people will say that, all right, after that play, you still got to play football. We should have stopped them. We shouldn't have let them kick the field goal. Then they kicked another field goal. Like, we should have stopped them. But if none of that wouldn't matter if the call, what it was called a fumble, and then they changed it. They called it a fumble on the field and then changed it.
Right.
Stick to what you called it, because you saw a fumble. That's what it was. But granted, to your question, you asked what's going on. What's going on has been going on since that. Just a poorly run organization. And mind you, I'm loyal to I'm never changing team. We could be the worst team, which we've been the worst team. It's just poor organizational decisions and no stability. Like, you look at these franchises that are really good for long periods of times, like the Steelers, like the Chiefs now, the Eagles, even with the Eagles, like, they're just these are strong organizations that are run very well and have stability.
I mean, you could throw the Giants in there too.
The Giants,
The,
like, here's the perfect example I always try to, and when somebody asks, like, what do you mean by that? We drafted Derek Carr, quarterback, 2014. We drafted him. Since this is his first year not being with us. He went to the Saints. So in 9 years, he's had 7 different head coaches. 9 years, 7 different head coaches.
Yeah.
About 6 different offensive coordinators. In a, what are we talking, 9 year span?
Yep.
Where's the stability in that? That's constant change. So when you think of, like, the Mike Tomlins, like, Mike Tomlin's been the head coach. He hasn't had a losing season since he's been the head coach, and he's been the head coach for 10 plus years.
He's had losing seasons. But
No, he hasn't.
Are you?
They've never had a losing season since he's been a head coach. I think that
Nah.
the only time he came close is when they had an 8-8 record.
So you're telling me he's always been at least 500 when he's not had a winning season? All right, we're gonna have to use the Google machine on that one.
So this is stability, to your point, and this is why the Raiders are trash, the dumpster of the NFL. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record during his 16 seasons as the head coach
That's crazy.
in the NFL.
That's crazy.
16. And he's won one Super Bowl,
Yeah. Nah, he
but
won
it's
2.
stability.
He won 2.
Is it 2?
Yeah. Ben's got 2.
Either way, he's the stability. Not changing coaches every 2 years or changing coordinators every other year.
I
That's
think
the problem with the Raiders.
that's a testament to the franchise though, because they don't. But they're
Organization.
they're one of the few franchises that, like, don't change head coaches. Like, before Mike Tomlin, who was it? It was Bill Cowher,
Bill Cowher, and he was the head coach.
and he was for mad long too.
Long season.
Yeah. So, and then I think they've only had like 6 head coaches, maybe their
Yeah,
whole
but
existence. Like,
75% of the NFL, the 75% of the teams in the NFL, they don't change their coaches every 2 years. They're not doing it. They're not changing coaches constantly.
the bottom.
Maybe they'll give the coach 4 or 5 years. We've never had that. That's what I'm
The
saying. I'll take 4
the
or 5
very
years.
bottom of the league has, like, changes coaches often.
Yeah, because they're smart run organizations. They do, all right, we suck. We're going to change coaches. Then go get the right guy. So we don't have to do it over and over again.
That's the thing. They're changing the coaches because they're trying to catch that lightning in a bottle and say, all right, we found the guy. Now we'll stick with the guy. And then they give you a year. You don't have the worst record in the league or, like, a terrible record that season. All right, you got maybe one more to change it, and then you're gone. You start out the next season losing, then you're out. That's just the nature of sports. It happens in basketball too, though. So, I mean, the problem is like, it's got to start at the tippy top of the organization. So not to make comparisons, but like you look at the Knicks. The Knicks have had the same issues of being like a dumpster fire for like a majority of the last 20 years since they went to the finals in '99. But the last couple years, the owner's been staying out of like making deals, making trades.
Yeah.
They've hired the right, management group. They've hired the right head coach in Thibodeau, and from the top down, they start getting more out of the roster, getting the roster in line with like what the coach's scheme is. Like all of the Knicks players like have to buy into defense or they're not getting the rock. You know what I mean? So like, I think that's one of the main issues with Oakland. Like even if you look back from like the Al Davis days, like he was way, way too involved with the team.
I'd rather that.
You'd
I
rather
would've
the
rathered
owner
Al
just
Davis,
be.
But obviously, Al Davis passed away.
Mhm.
R.I.P. Al Davis, that was my dude. But since his son has taken over the team, there's just been no. And here's the knock on Mark Davis, Al Davis' son. He doesn't have the football IQ. Like he has what he sees from his dad.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't run an organization. Like, yeah, he did the right move and moved us to Vegas, and it's going to make us a shit ton of money. But guess what? You go watch Raiders games now; they're not home games. We just had the Steelers at our stadium. More than 50% of the fans were Steelers.
Well,
It's not even home games.
They travel like really well.
Yeah. People go to Vegas to have fun. They don't go to Vegas to watch the Raiders play because we suck. They're only coming to Vegas because, hey, like you want to go to the Jets-Raiders game because you
Hell
want to
yeah,
see
I
your
wanna go to
Jets
the Jets.
play in our stadium. Yeah. And I guarantee you, we go to that game, there's going to be more Jets fans than Raiders fans. But the point
I
is,
don't
listen,
think so.
there's no stability.
Right.
And anytime there has been promise, we've made a dumb decision to move on from it. Hugh Jackson was the first time since John Gruden where we had a good record. We were 8-8. Give him another year. Give him time to continue building the culture. No, we fired him and hired Dennis Allen, which Dennis Allen won one game out of like 20.
Mm-hmm.
Only good thing he did was draft Derek Carr. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we fired him. Then the next time that we had an opportunity to be a decent franchise is when we went and got a decent coach in Jack Del Rio. But what we did is we got a good head coach, but then we also got a good GM. We also got good personnel in that aspect that's going to make decisions that are going to help us long term. So yeah, they started doing a bunch of different things to set us up for success. And then guess what? Jack Del Rio, we go to it's week 17, and Derek Carr breaks his leg. First round of the playoffs, we lose. And guess what? Instead of sticking with all right, we have something here,
Mm-hmm.
let's stick with it. No, let's fire everyone. So we fired Jack Del Rio, we fired Reggie McKenzie, and started over.
Wow.
Why start over? You have something.
That's crazy.
You have something, right? And then now you fast forward to, you know what? Let's go get John Gruden again. Now we have promise though. I loved John Gruden, and he was doing the right things.
That was your
And then all of a sudden-
favorite coach.
And then all of a sudden, somebody threw him under the bus and sent some emails that he was sending to somebody else, and he got canceled.
Listen, my man got canceled for an email that he sent privately.
Here's the craziest part. He wasn't even being investigated. It was Daniel Snyder from the Redskins or the Commanders or the football team. Like, he was being indicted and being looked at.
Mm-hmm.
And you mean to tell me, and this is also another part of the whole, and this could be another topic for another day, but like the NFL, the conspiracy of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you mean to tell me that with all the stuff that we're looking at, they were looking at Daniel Snyder for trying to find something on him. And through all the millions and millions of phone calls, emails, pictures, videos, whatever, the one thing they find is John Gruden's emails where he's saying the wrong things to somebody, and he gets fired, and then Daniel Snyder doesn't. Nothing happens to Daniel
Well,
Snyder.
Daniel Snyder
What?
is an owner, so of course nothing was going to happen to him. But eventually, the NFL strong armed him to get him out, sell his team.
Yeah, but guess what? You know what happened? Let's take the attention off of one of our guys, one of our owners, and let's focus on this guy over here, all the way in Las Vegas, and get him fired. So he got fired.
That's crazy.
And then it was all downhill. Then it was all downhill again. Henry Ruggs ends up getting drunk and then killing somebody, and now he's in jail. And then now we're here. Now we suck. But what I would say is, and this is going to be
Garoppolo, though. You're not feeling Garoppolo?
This is going to go against the grain of a lot. If you go on Twitter and look at what everyone's saying about Josh McDaniels, everyone's talking about fire McDaniels. No, you can't fire McDaniels. We need stability. He needs time to fix all the shit that was happening. He needs to overhaul everything, get everyone out of it. Start from scratch.
Do you think Josh McDaniels is a good coach? Good head coach, because this is his second time, not even is his third time being a head coach.
Second time.
It's his second time being a head coach. First time was in Denver.
I think he's a good coach. He's not a great coach. I think he's a good coach. I think that he has a great offensive mind, but I think that where we're at right now is, again, and this is probably the one good decision outside of John Gruden, Mark Davis has made is, all right, you know what? I don't care what we need to do. We need to overhaul everything and start from scratch instead of doing this every 2 year, 3 year thing. So what did he do? He went and got a GM and head coach that are close, that like each other. They have the same vision of what they want, and they both said, all right, we'll come to Las Vegas. But you know what? We're gonna clean house. Like we're gonna start coaching better. We're gonna start recruiting better. We're gonna start drafting better. But it's gonna take time.
Mm-hmm.
So now you fast forward now. This is year 2. Last year we weren't a bad team. We lost a lot of games at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like we literally lost at least 8 games where we should have won the game.
But
so
you
what
guys
does that
were
tell you?
in
That
games.
tells you we're right there. We're literally right there. There's just a missing piece. Like we got to learn how to close and win games. Now we're 4 games in, and everyone's talking about fire Josh McDaniels. Dude, he's got a new quarterback that used to be playing his system years ago, before he went to the Niners, Jimmy Garoppolo, and then now he from the Niners he's on the Raiders now. But again, he has to relearn the system. We have new players, new people around him. It's going to take time. We're not going to just go 4-0 like the Niners right now and be dominating people. No,
Dude, the Niners are stacked, dude. Like top to bottom.
Stability.
Mm-hmm.
They're a stable franchise.
But they're one of the marquee franchises in the league. I'd probably say it's like them, the Steelers, New England. Even though New England, fuck the Patriots, but the Chiefs. So yeah, they're up there, and they're competing.
But look at this is what I mean by stability. So Kyle Shanahan, he went to the Niners in 2017.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at his records right now, season records. His first season with them, they went 6-10.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 6-10. We need something better. Or else we're gonna have to make some changes, right? Like you said, bottom barrel teams. Like if we're gonna be bad, then we need to make a change. The next season, they go 4-12.
4-12.
What are we doing? We're firing Kyle. 2 seasons of shit. We're firing him.
Oh, side note. Guess who was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers from 2017 to 2021?
So
Robert fucking Saleh. So the Niners D coordinator is our head coach. Just
that the stability there. Look what you just said. He was the defensive coordinator from 2017 to 2021, right?
actually
5 years. He got 5 years. He had an opportunity for 5 years. He got the opportunity to coach that team. And again, what I said, first 2 seasons they were 6-10 and 4-12. If that was the Raiders,
he would have been fired.
he's fired. He's fired. We're moving on. We're going to start over again. No, and guess what? They gave Hal the chance, and they went 13-3, and they were NFC champions. Is that the year that they lost to? Is that the year that they lost to the Ravens in the Super Bowl? I think that was right there. I could be wrong. They went 13-3. No, Chiefs won. They went 13-3. Right? That's promising. It's like, all right, shoot, we're right there. Next season they go 6-10. Firing them. Raiders are good. Raiders are good. We're firing them. No, they keep them. They go 10-7. Season after that they go 13-4, and now they're 4-0. Stability. They gave Kyle the opportunity to build and get the players that he needed in there to win games. This is Josh's second, it's not even 2 years. He's 4 games into his second year. We're not a playoff team. We're not a Super Bowl contender. I don't care what anyone says. So a lot of fans, like, they're so stuck in back in the day of we need to win now. Like, we gotta win now. We're not good enough to win now. And yeah, we may have the stars. We may have arguably one of the best running backs in the league. And like I told you, we have him, the best wide receiver in the NFL, Devontae Adams. But that doesn't mean we're gonna win. That don't mean we're gonna go 13-4. Like, we need a complete team at all levels, and we don't have that. So yes, what's going on with the Raiders is we continue to be bad because we don't have stability. If Mark Davis decides to fire McDaniels, we're starting over. The Twilight Zone. That's just what we've been doing. What needs to happen is whatever record we end up with. If we go 4-13, can't fire McDaniels.
I mean, you guys have a very difficult division. Well, I mean, outside of Denver, like,
Arguably division in there.
you got the world champs in your division, so
You got to Chiefs twice a year. You got to play the best. Really, they say it's like the quarterbacks. They say the best quarterback that's never won a Super Bowl. The best NFL team that's never won a Super Bowl.
the Chargers. Yeah, I'm never sold on the Chargers though. Ever since they had Schottenheimer all those years.
Yeah, they win the big games.
Nope.
And then the Broncos are good here and there. You know, they're not good right now, but they were good.
Yeah, they won.
Peyton Manning came and won them a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So arguably one of the best divisions in the NFL, and we're in that division. So I think we're right there. I think we need stability. And going with what the fans want us to do right now and fire Josh McDaniels, because everyone's saying fire Josh McDaniels, but we fire Josh McDaniels. The question I would ask is then what?
Then you go back to the top of the draft and you draft one of these college quarterbacks that are coming out.
Who's going to be the head coach?
At least that way.
Fire McDaniels. Fire McDaniels.
At least that way you have an excuse. It's like, oh well, we're starting over. We got this rookie quarterback, and then a couple years in, do it again.
Keep McDaniels. Keep McDaniels. Yes, I guess we're probably going to waste Josh Jacobs' years. We're going to waste Devontae Adams' years. unless something crazy happens, unless we get it together and like we get a few more pieces. Could we be a good team this season? Yes, we can. We're doing the same thing we did last season where we're losing close games.
Yeah, you're not getting
We
blown
just gotta
up.
win. Gotta win those games. Like the good teams win those games. No offense to the Jets. No offense to the referees for cheating and calling pass interference, but the one thing that Mahomes and the Chiefs do is they win those games.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. I was
They win
pissed.
those close games.
I was pissed. He scrambled that 120-yard play. Nobody was near him, and then the second one, it's like he was on the 3-yard line and slides. I'm like, you motherfucker. And then he does the little like he's on Broadway. It's crazy. It was crazy. It was such a crazy game. But yeah, I hear you. It's gonna be a long season. I'm sure we're gonna have many more discussions on Jets Raiders as we go through the season.
Yeah, who do you guys have? Who do you have this week?
Denver. So hopefully that's a win. But
Well, we beat Denver, so if y'all lose to Denver,
listen, y'all beat Denver and Miami hung 70 on them. So yo, we gotta do something.
then the Bears let them come back and win.
And the Bears let them come back. So that should tell you how bad the Bears are. You know what I mean? Oh man. But yeah, it's football season. Basketball is right around the corner. So we'll be I think we'll have a lot of sports related stuff the next coming weeks.
NBA's in like 3 weeks. Right?
Yeah, they're doing they just had media day for a lot of teams. So their training camp is starting.
A lot of things to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Dame Dollar.
Yep.
Dame time.
We might have to save that for another pod though. We'll see. How you feeling about
we got a lot to talk about.
For sure. How you feeling about Thursday nights? You like Thursday nights? Or Tuesday nights?
Like Thursday night.
Now we got.
I do like.
What days are we recording? You like this?
Are we still recording right now? Do we have to say bye to our fans?
I've been recording this whole time. What are you talking about?
So first off, we need how are we closing? How are we going to close our episode?
How are we going to close our episode? Maybe we should do something we want to see like happen in sports leagues, or we could do something unrelated to sports for the closing, like I don't know.
Thank you for gathering with us.
Thank you for gathering with the piece. I don't know. We're definitely gonna have to work on that because that was trash.
Something cheesy.
Yeah.
Something cheesy.
Something cheesy. All right, we'll come up with it. All right. So, signing off.
Yeah, Tuesdays or Thursdays. This is actually a good time. I know you were running late, but I guess actually like a really good time.
All right.
The kids are Sebastian's in bed, and then Steph and the baby go to bed around like 9:30, 10.
Okay. Yeah, Tuesday I usually don't have anything going on except like jujitsu, but I'm usually home before that.
Oh yeah, the day that you were late. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got nothing going on, but I was late.
Listen, talk about consistency. You consistently have the same stuff going on every day, so I do too, but it was just today. Anyway, Mr. I have a football game possibly on Tuesday, possibly on Thursday.
Yeah, it alternates. It's a Tuesday-Thursday league, so 1 week we could play Tuesday, 1 week we play Thursday. But they've only done the first week of the schedule, so we play this Thursday.
That could be a topic of conversation.
What?
The rise in adult leagues.
Oh, like adult recreation.
Adult
Like
recreation.
flag is crazy though. Flag is like one of people like sleep on flag, but
Adult recreation. We can also talk about how we almost got one of those leagues off the ground. The
We
sports
can talk about why it wasn't successful.
the sports PCS days.
We could tell all the people out there what not to do.
Good.
To whoever's listening out there.
Whoever's gonna be listening. All right, man. We good to sign off?
So we're gonna say this together. Together we're gonna go, thank you for gathering.
I'm not doing that.
You didn't like it? Thanks for gathering.
No, I didn't like it. Not at all.